This has been a week for acquisitions, let me tell you. I had to stick this little segment in. Did you notice that the music is back again? Back by popular demand, as it turns out. Numerous ones of you said that please don't take the music away. We really enjoy the music. So in case you ever wondered what the name of that tune is, it is Happy Mandolin, and it is music that is free through the YouTube Creator Studio. And so that's what my theme music is. It actually is a 3 or 4 minute piece of music, but I just used like the first 26 seconds. And I got to thinking that the people who are stopping watching the video within the first 20 seconds of the video probably wouldn't stick around to watch it anyway, so music is back by popular demand. Hello and welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 202. 202. Yay! Yes. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming by. And if you haven't already, please click that little red subscribe button down below and check the bell icon next to it. Click that and then click the all button. And that hopefully will notify you anytime I post a video, which is always on Saturday and usually on Wednesday, and lately a lot of sales. Whenever there's a good sale, I let you know about that too. So let's get started because I've got lots to share. So first thing I finished, this is my first finished object. This is the Easy Breezy Beanie by Bag O' Day Crochet. And I have learned something through this. I crocheted this the first time with a 6mm hook, and it was huge on me, which means I either have a very small head, which I don't think so, because how could it contain the massive brain inside? Just kidding. But anyway, it was way too big. And I do think I have an average sized head. So I ripped it out and I redid it with a 5mm crochet hook. And this looks more the right size. It does fit me, but to me, it fits me better. And I'm thinking it would fit a child better. And the stitches look closer together the way they should look. So I think I've just come to the conclusion that I am a loose crocheter. I'm not a loose knitter, but I'm a loose crocheter apparently. So that is item number 1 on the finished stuff. On the finished stuff? Of the finished stuff. Then I finished my design cowl that I was working on. Here it is close up so you can see it. It has been blocked. It is so soft because this is a superwash merino. And it is super, super soft. And even the little sparkly bits in it don't make it scratchy. Sometimes if there's stellina, which is the sparkly stuff, sometimes that can make a yarn a little scratchy. This is not. Now I'll put it on and show you what it looks like. There it is. You can see it. Tip the camera down a little bit. It matches so lovely with my shirt, but you know, you get the idea. So yeah, there it is. Now, we had a debate going on last week. We had my second time I knit it through before I put it, write the pattern actually up. I was asking you which colors I should use, and this was option 1, and this was option 2. So which one won? This one. This one won. The final count, this one got 11 votes, and this one got 17 votes. I will be making this one after it because I do like this. It's just perfect. It keeps my neck warm without being like hanging all over the place. So yes, I will be making both of these, but I will be making this one next. Now, funny story. Spoiler alert, do not put anything in your mouth while I'm telling you the story because you might spit it back out again. Speaking of things getting, hanging down and getting in the way. I caught my chest in the desk at work this week. Yes, it is possible to do that, apparently. I'm like a neat freak. I don't like junk around my desk. So I always make sure that there's like not a whole lot other than my laptop and pictures of my grandkids and my telephone. I mean, I don't have a whole lot on top of my desk. So I keep my pens in the center drawer. Reached in to get the pen out of the center drawer, reached across my desk to do something. I forget what I was doing with the phone, but I was doing something with the phone. And I ended up closing the drawer on myself. It was like mammogram practice. Yeah, it hurt. It's still hurting. It was not one of my more brilliant moments. And my coworker was like cracking up laughing when she found out what happened. She says, "Katrina, I can honestly say that has never happened with me." And I said, I can attest that this isn't the first time, and it probably won't be the last. So yes. That was my moment this week of embarrassment. So now let's move on to works in progress. I'm going to take this off now because I'm upstairs and it's a little warm up here. It's not horrible, but it's a little warm. But I love this. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Okay, let's start with the crocheted sweater. I did a lot this week. Last week, you will remember, I was right where the sleeves separate, right there. I did all of the front and all of the back. This is the back, and this is the front. And I tried to be really careful that my stripes, because you can see that this is Lion Brand Homespun. So you can see it does have striping to it. And I wanted to make sure that my stripes for the front and the back pretty much matched, because I thought that would look kind of weird if it didn't. And I came pretty close. I'm pretty close. So there's the front, and you can see it's just got, I still have to put the, like the ribbing on it. It could go without it. I mean, in all honesty, it looks nice, but I will put ribbing on it just so it looks more finished. But there is the front, and then you can see there is the back. So I did try to, like I said, watch my colors. And if you line them up on the arms, you can see that I did it pretty good. So I was very pleased with this. So the only thing I have to do now is the sleeves. And I might do one sleeve and then save the other sleeve for the holiday along, because so that way I could count all of this yardage. Yes, and more about the holiday along when I get further into the video. But yardage does matter. So, yes, that is my crocheted sweater. So I'm really pleased with this. It is soft. It is warm. I probably won't need a heavy coat with this. It's really heavy as well. So, yes, I'm very happy with that one. Then I have a knitted work in progress. Believe it or not, I've only got 2 works in progress going right now, although I will be picking up another one at this point because I want to get that pattern out. This is a knitted hat. I just have the ribbing done. This is going to be my pattern. It's the pinwheel beanie hat. It is a free pattern on Love Crafts. You can go to the link down below in the description box if you would like to download that pattern, because Wednesday's video is a tutorial for this. So that's why I am knitting on this frantically over the next couple days to get it finished, because I'm filming it as I knit it. And one of you viewers had asked if I could do a tutorial on decrease knitting, like decrease stitches using double pointed needles. And so I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity to show not only that, but to show several other techniques. So one of them is joining in the round, which I've shown before. I showed it just a week or two ago, but I show that again. I show how to do the ribbing. I walk you through the entire pattern of how to make the pinwheel beanie hat, and I'm also showing you how to change sizes of needles, because when you start on the ribbing, this is done with the US 6, and it's then transferred. These are US 7s, because with knitting, you always do the ribbing in a size smaller needle, because knit and purl stitches spread out and take up more space, and you want your stitches to kind of look about the same size. So you transfer up to a US 7. So I show how to do that. And then when we get up to the crown of the hat where the actual decreases take place, I show you how to transfer onto double pointed needles and how to do decreases on double pointed needles. If you don't have double pointed needles, you can I normally do this hat without double pointed needles. I usually do my decreases just by magic loop method. So, yes, so there will be several techniques demonstrated on Wednesday's knitting video. So that will be Wednesday's video this week. So those are my works in progress. Let's take a look at what you all have been making this week. Now, I thought I would do a segment. Every so often I do what am I reading. I've got several things. I just finished a book and I've got several more that I'm in the process of listening to. I have discovered Hoopla, which my library has, the library that I work for. They're digital. It's a digital library, so you can read. I can either read the book on my computer, or which for knitting or crochet is better for me than trying to balance a book and having the pages flop back and forth shut. So if I'm reading, I can do it easier on the computer. But I also have been doing them as audiobooks if I can get them, because to me it's very relaxing to be knitting or crocheting and just listening to somebody else read to me. So what have I been listening to? Well, I just finished listening to Knit of the Living Dead. I like cozy mysteries. Cozy mysteries are murder mysteries that are clean. There's usually very little or no language, no sex scenes, no graphic scenes. You know somebody died, but that's about it. It's sort of like the Murder, She Wrote TV show. It's along those lines, you know, a clean murder. So anyway, Knit of the Living Dead takes place at Halloween, and it is a knitting group. It's by Peggy Earhart is the author, and they discover somebody is murdered at the Halloween parade, and then they find out that she's related to Yarn in some way, shape, or form, and there are llamas involved. Gotta love llamas or alpacas. So, yes, that was Knit of the Living Dead. So I just finished that one. Then I've got two books that are waiting for me to read. One is called A Murderous Tangle, which is by Sally Goldenbaum, and that is part of the Seaside Knitters Mysteries. And then I have another one, which is Knot, and it's spelled, like a knot of yarn. Yeah, Knot on Your Life, and that's by Betty Hechtman. Now, Betty Hechtman is my favorite of the authors. She writes a crochet series and a knitting series. This one is the knitting series. My favorite out of all the ones is the crochet series she writes, but she hasn't been writing them as many, and I've read all of them so far. But there is another one coming out next month, I think. So I'll have to get these two books read so I can listen to that one when it comes available. So those are the three books that I've had going on recently. Now we're into acquisitions. Katrina has done a little shopping this week, and it's not all yarn related. I'll show you what is yarn related first. Okay, my knit crate came. If you saw Wednesday's video, you saw my knit crate. I got, first off, it's called Handmade with Love, Sammy Sew Creations Etsy Boutique. And I got this little stitch marker with a little sun with a smiley face. So there was that. And then there was 2 skeins of yarn. And they're calling it blue. But when I look at it like in this light, it's almost, and you can see it's showing pretty true to color. It's almost a kind of a sea glass greenish teal. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's really pretty. It's very soft. The colorway is called Utopia. They are calling it a worsted weight. Kim and I were looking at it and said we think it's more DK. If it's a worsted weight, it's a very thin worsted weight. I mean, look at that. To me, that's more DK. It's a little bit heavier than sock. It's a little bit heavier than fingering, but to me, it's not a heavy worsted. So anyway, it is 55% fine merino, 30% baby alpaca, 15% mulberry silk, which explains why it's extremely soft. There are 220 yards in each skein. It is machine washable on a gentle cycle. So I have 440 yards. I will not be doing the patterns for it this month, and I'll explain why. Both patterns, one of them is a scarf and fingerless mitts. This is the knitted pattern. The scarf is fine, but I just find fingerless mitts, if I just don't see the point. If I'm wearing something on my hands, I want it to cover my fingers. I have Raynaud syndrome in my fingers and my toes, which means I really feel the cold, and they tend to turn like blue, and then they turn red, and then they turn white. Dave calls them dead fingers. But anyway, I feel the cold a lot. It's caused by capillaries spasming shut. Can you tell I used to be a nurse? And here is the crocheted, which are also fingerless mitts, which are very lacy and pretty. But again, if I'm going to spend yarn on my arms, I want it to cover my fingers. So I won't make any of those. To be honest, I was not overly impressed with the patterns this month. The socks I might make just because they are pretty much a basic sock recipe. There's nothing fancy about them. They're just a standard sock. And, you know, I love a plain, regular sock. So the crocheted socks were about the only thing I thought was adorably cute, which is them right there. So, but again, I'm not going to spend $24.99 to put something on my feet. If I make socks with these, it'll be done with a cheap sock yarn. So anyway, that was Knit Crate this month. So that was acquisition number 1. Then Knit Crate always does what they call double down, which is immediately after they have made the shipments of yarn and they know they have extra, they have a sale and they put it at a deep discount. And for each month that you buy your Knit Crate, you accumulate what are called stash points that you can then cash in for discounts off of the yarn. So I had $10 in stash points. So if you remember, this was last month's Knit Crate that I really, really loved. And there was a color that was in here. One of the other colors was kind of a berry color that I thought would go really, really nice with this. Yes, I bought it on the double down. I don't have it yet. It hasn't arrived. But that was one thing I bought this week because I saw it, so I snagged I snagged a skein of it to go with these. So my idea is to use these two with this cranberry one to do a cowl, but to do it, I think a cowl. I have a book that was sent to me from, was it Leisure Arts? I think it was free books they were Leisure Arts books. And one of them, but I don't remember, was Annie's or if it was Leisure Arts that sent it to me. It was like a free trial thing. They sent it to me as a YouTuber and they let me pick what I wanted. And so one of them I got was on mosaic knitting, which is similar to doing color work knitting. You're doing 2 colors at the same time, but you're just slipping the stitches. You're not actually knitting with 2 yarns at one time. For color work, you have yarn coming in on both sides. So I'm going to look through there and find a project to do these with. So that was my next yarn purchase. Then Lion Brand had a sale on Summer Kiss yarn. Yes, bought that too. It also hasn't arrived. I will do a yarn unboxing when it all comes in. I'll show you what it looks like, but it hasn't arrived yet. But when it does, I will show it to you guys. Yeah, so I bought some of that. Then, it's been an expensive week. Then I bought a chair for the living room. The sofa that I sit on is not overly comfortable. The cushions are starting to break down and you can feel the edge of the frame. It's really uncomfortable. So I decided I was going to get, hopefully, because I bought it online, I haven't sat in it, but it actually has springs in the seat, so I'm hoping it'll be more comfortable. So I bought, hopefully, a more comfortable chair to sit in. They were having a sale, so I bought that. Then one of you on Facebook, I told you I've been buying a lot this week. One of you on Facebook had mentioned that they were getting a devotional book that incorporated knitting or crochet. And I was like, that looks interesting. So I followed the links, and yes, I bought two. So the links to all of the books that I'm talking about that I'm reading and these I'm going to stick down in the description box if you want to check them out for yourself. The first one I got, because I am a born-again Christian, I do a devotional time in the morning where I normally read a chapter in the Bible and then I spend time in prayer. And I've been doing it that way for quite a few years, but I thought I need to change it up a little bit. So when I saw these Bible study devotionals, I thought, this might be kind of fun. So one is called Stitched in Christ, and it is a knit and crochet Bible study devotional. And I'll show you pictures of all these as we go. And then I saw another one, which was Proverbs 31 Woman, God's Work in Progress. So I saw those two, and I thought that looked like they would be a lot of fun and just something different, just to, like I said, change it up a little bit, keep my interest going. And yeah, so I just thought it looked like it would be fun. There were other ones to choose from too, but I just limited it to because I was like, they're 1 year devotional, so I've got the next 2 years covered. So I got those, and then one last thing, only one more thing. While I was there, I am a planner girl because I have a lot going on and I need to write it down because this brain is not going to remember things. And I've used a planner for years. So every year I like setting it up. Now, I'm not into decorating planners. To me, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of being time efficient. The whole purpose of a planner is to be efficient with your time. And I'm not a scrapbooker. That's one craft I've tried to get into, card making, scrapbooking. Yeah, I can't. My daughter likes it. I've never been able to get into it. And so I don't decorate my planner. It's basically for utilitarian purposes only. But I ordered one, and it was relatively cheap, and it was a 1 year planner. So, and I like the spiral bound planners. So I'll stick a link down below in that. And when it comes in, I actually am thinking of doing a video on how I do my planners. So if you like to look at planners, I'll give you a review when it comes in and you can see what you think. And I'll show you what I do to it, which is like pretty much to-do lists. Yes, I just like it listed out, and I like the thrill of crossing things off. Sometimes if I've forgotten to add it to the list, I write it on the list just so I can, even though I've already done it, I like the thrill of crossing it off. Yes, I was told that is a typical behavior of the oldest sibling, and I'm the oldest sibling. Yeah, we did a birth order class one time at work, and they came out and they said lots of times the oldest sibling will make a list just for the thrill of crossing things off of that list, and even if they've done something and forgot to put it on the list, they will write it in the list after they've done it just so they have the thrill of crossing it off. Yep, me to a T. Yeah, so anyway, yes, lots of acquisitions. I will be showing them as they come in. I don't think I have any buying left in the future. My pocketbook says I have no buying left in the future. So that is it for my acquisitions. Now it's time to tell you the come and get it, so you can get some acquisitions too. So I can be not the only one buying and spending money. All right, Leisure Arts. They have, since we're on I'm on a cowl kick apparently right now. Leisure Arts has a crochet cowl book and a knitted cowl book. They both are the same price. They're both $7.99, and they both have 10 patterns in them. Now, the Dollar Tree, one of you told me on Facebook that they had bought the little magnetic like spice jars. You see them at IKEA. You know, they're magnetic. They're about, you know, little container. They're clear on the top. She bought some at the Dollar Tree, and then she stuck them onto her 3-tiered cart. Now, you've seen me talk about my 3-tiered cart before. I love my 3-tiered cart. I have my computer on it. I have all my knitting stuff. I have my planner. I have my Bible. I have any patterns I'm working on. It's all in one spot. I like it like that, and I can just roll it out of the way when I'm done. She actually stuck it to the side and used it to put things in, and I was like, So I did not order any. I have not. I've been good. I had them in the cart and then decided, no, I really didn't need them yet. But yes, they are selling them. You have to buy 4. So I will stick a link down below. You do have to buy 4, but you can use 4 very easily. Just paper clip stitch markers. That was my thought, was stitch markers. And my other thought was putting some of my charging cords in them and keeping them right there, because I tend to charge my phone off of my computer right on my 3-tiered cart, and my camera and my other camera, and transfer photos using, you know, the little mini USB cords. Yes, that's what I was thinking of, corralling into those little containers and sticking them on the cart so I knew where they were at. So that is the Dollar Tree. Annie's, they are having their fall collection is out for 2020. And they are having a special event. Now, I will send out a reminder video. I'm not sure if I'll try to get it on Facebook too. But a reminder, I will send a reminder video out on the 24th, which is Thursday. They are having a twice-a-year yarn sale where all of their yarn is 20% off. There is a coupon code involved, and I will put that in the video when I send it out, like Wednesday night, Thursday morning, right around there. It runs for 4 days, so it runs from the 24th until the 28th is their 20% off sale. So that is Annie's. And like I said, they also have their fall collection out, and I think their new knitted signature collection is out as well, too. Knit Picks has 40% off of their books right now, and 15% off of their bulk bare yarn. Now, you have to buy like a bulk amount, like a lot. Not like a lot, but a lot as in a group of bare yarn, which is undyed yarn. So if you want to experiment with dyeing yarn and all that kind of stuff, they are selling them in lots over at Knit Picks at 15% off. There's no coupon code needed. Just click the little link and it'll take you over there. So that is the sales that I am aware of so far. Lion Brand has been popping up with sales almost every day this past week. So those I'll let you know of as they come available, and hopefully I will not buy more yarn. I don't need more yarn. Why do I buy more yarn? It's like Katrina likes to see pretty things and touch pretty things. So Katrina buys pretty things. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, I had to pop another segment in because I completely forgot to tell you all about the Holiday Along. The Holiday Along is a collaboration between me and Sara Oliver, who is Sock TV. She's here on YouTube as well, and she and I worked together on the Holiday Along last year, and she contacted me and said, would you like to do it again this year? And I was like, yes, it was so much fun last year. So let me briefly try to explain what the Holiday Along is. It is runs from October 1st until December 31st. You can make anything knit or crocheted, even Tunisian crochet. We count that too. We would probably count it as crochet. But anyway, you can knit. It does not need to be necessarily Christmas presents. It can be anything that you finish during the time period of October 1st to December 31st. So like my sweater, I'm going to hang on so I can finish some of it during the Holiday Along so I can count the yardage. Because part of the fun of the Holiday Along, yes, there's prizes involved. At the very end, Sara will be giving a prize away, and I will be giving a prize away on our individual channels. But to try to make it fun in the meantime, we have 2 teams running, Team Knit and Team Crochet. There's no prizes involved in this part. It's just for fun to see how far around the world we can travel. Since we can't travel very far right now, and we can travel vicariously through the holiday along. So what you will be doing is when you finish a project, you can submit a picture to the Facebook group Holiday Along 2020. Or you can send a picture to me at KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com. Please tell us whether it is knitted or crocheted and what the weight of yarn is and approximately, at least a close guesstimate of how much yardage you used. We will then calculate the yardage into miles, and Team Crochet and Team Knit are going to be traveling from Glasgow, Scotland, which is near where Sara lives, across the world, like around the world, loosely following the path of Around the World in 80 Days. And the 2 teams are going to be competing to see how close to where I live in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, that they can get. So last year, I know Team Crochet won, and I believe they got to San Francisco. They went all the way through Europe and Asia and crossed the Pacific, and were coming into the United States when the holiday along ended. So that part of it is just for fun, and each week we kind of show pictures of the area that the team is traveling through at the time. So that kind of makes it fun. And then at the end of each month, either Sara's channel or my channel will show that month's entry so that you all can see what everybody else is making. It's like a giant show and tell section. Like our little segment of show and tell here, except it's much, much bigger. I believe last year, by the time we finished, we had over 400 entries. You can enter more than one time. You can enter one time. You can enter 20 times. It's whatever projects you finish. Those get entered into it. So it's a lot of fun. And if you do know the pattern, please write the pattern down too. So that way, if some of us see it and like what we see, we can go get that pattern as well. So that's a little bit of information about the holiday along. If you have not been invited, I tried to go through the Facebook list and invite everybody, but I know not everybody does Facebook. So if you have not gotten an invite yet and you would like to get invited, either contact me on Facebook or contact me at KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com, and I will get you entered that way. So we don't want to leave anybody out. So yeah, so looking forward to October 1st. Get your needles and hooks ready. That's it for this week. I will see you again on Wednesday for our knitting tutorial. So if you don't know how to knit and you would like to learn the basics of knitting a hat, check it out. And if you're a new knitter and you want to try to learn to knit your first hat, this is a good pattern because it's extremely simple and plain, and I will be walking you through each step of the way. So I hope to see you on Wednesday. Have a great week, and I will see you all later. Bye, everybody.